All right.
Aces and eights.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me?
John Taman.
Pull down my trousers and do your job.
Scott Hartley.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.
And occasionally, Keith Gray.
So many social engagements, so little time.
And now, your host, John Taman.
Hey, wait. Hey, there we go. God damn it. Too many button clicks. How you doing, y'all?
Starting off with the bang already.
Considering that that's my nickname for the last 30 years or so, I'd say that's probably a good thing. Look, man, I'll tell you what. It's Friday. I've had a damn week, so as usual, I have technical difficulties right in the beginning, but I said aces and eights. Who knows what aces and eights is? How about my friend Jesse over there? Did I get it right? No, I got it wrong. There he is. He's over there. You know what an ace? What are the aces and eights?
Aces and eights.
Yes,
aces
sir.
and eights. It's,
Aces and eights.
It's a hand. It's a hand.
Yeah. Well, what hand? What hand is it? Scotty? You know, that's my friend down there, Scotty from Barrow and Furnace, UK. All right, aces and eights is the dead man's hand, and it's known as the dead man's hand because that is what Buffalo Bill was holding when the coward came in and shot him. And you know, Buffalo Bill, as much as they like to say about the Redskins name, I said the bad word. I said the word that the Redskins name was so offensive. For some reason, they have not put two and two together that Buffalo Bill killed a lot of buffalo and was probably the worst person that they could have ever put up on a freaking pedestal. But hey, you know, that would require the mob to think, and you can't require the mob to think. And you know, that's a good way to start the show. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, aces and eights. Let's deal them up to the Buffalo Bills this week. I'd like to see Josh Allen with the dead man's hand. All right, so why don't we just jump right on into it? So let me see. I got to go this way. There we go. Jesse, how you doing, bud?
It was just fan-fucking-tastic. I had a hacker hack into my online banking account and stole all my savings, but I'm getting it all back. It's all insured. Other than that, fan-fucking-tastic. You know, I want to go on a little rant here.
Please, rant away, sir.
Fucking assholes who are smart enough and they're sophisticated as hell nowadays to go and steal people's money out of their accounts. They hack into your account. They take your social security card and birth date and phone number and everything. They hack into your account and take everything. You're smart enough to go get a fucking good paying job.
Probably not as good a paying as that, because you know what? If you don't get caught, crime does pay.
No. The fact of the matter is how they're doing it is they don't get the money. They're dispersing it into other freaking Langley accounts. It's ridiculous.
Right. Well, that is ridiculous. That just sounds like a virus meant to cause havoc.
No, this is how it happens. They called me, and yeah, it was a fiasco.
I bet it is. Well, you know, you got to make double sure. Keep a freaking sharp eye on that shit now, because make sure nobody takes out. My son had his ID stolen in a breach at Wawa. Wawa lost like $500,000 numbers or whatever, and his was part of it. And I'll tell you what, ever since then, every 6 months or so, somebody tries to start up like a securities account. Somebody tries to start up a stock broker's account, or somebody tries to. They haven't tried to buy a house or anything like that, but they should keep an eye on that shit. Anyway, for all of you that tuned in to hear us talk about the Commanders, there you go right there. Jesse would like to command all thieves to go to the gallows, and I agree with him, because thievery, I've said this before on this show, man, some people kill somebody. I can understand that. But a thief is the filthiest, dirtiest son of a bitch that you can.
They should all be hung up by their ball sacks. And
even if they don't have ball sacks, hang them up by the mud flaps. Put them up there.
Scotty, how you doing?
How are you, Scott?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Busy week at work. Got 120 new apprentices turned up that I've got to put through various different briefings. So, yeah, getting busier by the moment. So these are the future of our company, and God help our company.
That's a good thing. Look, how have we spent our undefeated week? Have you enjoyed walking around with your Commander's gear on all week long?
Absolutely, I have, John. I was at work in this today. Everyone was like, "Why have you got that stupid W on again?" Yeah.
I mean, you left work what, like 7 hours ago?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll tell you what, Scotty, conserving water, good man.
I hope everybody stays safe in the tropical storm that is about to crush us. Well, I shouldn't say crush us, just a tropical storm, but The fact that I live on the water, my house will. It is a massive, massive tidal flooding that's going to happen. So my house is going to be probably underwater.
Well, that's a fucked up thing, man.
Yeah.
Look, what's the weather going to be like?
Prevented sandbagging and done all
that's
that.
That's the thing. That's the thing that we should be talking about right here. The game is going to be a monsoon. It is still going to be a tropical depression. Once it, I was just looking at the weather right before we go back. I spend a lot of time with work I do is do with weather and we had a meeting with the Virginia Department of Transportation today, just talking about it. I'm actually on call, so if you hear a little ping ping, that means I got to go. Matter of fact, I got to run and go get my work phone.
Matter of fact, Scott, since you're kind of relatively new to us, Jesse is on call because he's very important in the parks department down there in Southeast Virginia. If any swing sets should blow over, he needs to be on call. Get out there right away.
if that rocking horse might fall over, John.
Hey, the government don't slow down for nothing. Parks got to be open, and
swing sets.
Planning board is out of control. Get Jesse on the phone.
The wind is blowing, 50 miles an hour, and a slide. A tree falls on a slide. I'm the man they call.
Yeah, got to be somebody. Glad it's you.
Yeah. So the weather is going to be a major factor, and I am glad I'm not there at the game. I'm not going to the game because it's going to be a wet tailgate and a wet game.
Bring your ponchos. Bring your ponchos.
Be right back.
Don't be like Scott. Don't be like Scott. I tried to protect Scott.
Trying to steal John's poncho.
He did. He got tired.
I did. You did.
All I was trying to do is I tried to branch because I was right behind you. So I tried to kind of like tent it out so that you could grab it with your fingers like this and just kind of hold it out. And then it would cover everything from it and would cover your head. But you put it down over your head. Dude, what the fuck?
It was great.
After like 10 seconds, you're like, fuck, I can't see. And I'm like, well, no shit, dumbass. You're just supposed to hold it up there.
To be fair, John, I think we got in at about 12 o'clock, about maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was 1 in the afternoon. I was still not compass mentis at all as what was going on. Yeah, I did miss your commentary last week.
I got out of the truck in the parking lot at the stadium, saw Scott's text, and went, oh, he wanted me to pick him up a poncho. Oh, shit. I guess we're shit out of luck now. Although I do know they sell them in the stadium store. There was some man out hawking them. They're probably going to cost you $20, but
yeah, I reckon so.
Probably. Hey, you know what?
It was $25 for 3 bottles of water.
So the last map I saw had this thing like dead centered over DC at like noon on Sunday. Has that changed any? Is it going to be a little farther north? Because earlier in the week they had been kind of giving us the impression that it would be all tomorrow and be out of here by Sunday. But it looks like it's going to be just dead over DC, noon on Sunday, right before kickoff. That's going to be – you remember that 49ers game? How many years ago?
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
It was like 9-0 or 9-3 or something like that. Yeah. It's going to be like that.
Right. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be Sunday's going to be a trip. Tomorrow's games up and down the East Coast for college football are going to be fun too. So.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think there's a game in Blacksburg that could be affected. Maryland's at home, aren't they? Is Maryland at home? Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So that could be a little messy.
The way the storm goes, it can affect everywhere from North Carolina all the way up through into Penn State, up into New Jersey.
Yeah, it's the Jets, Ravens, Commanders are the NFL teams that will be affected by this storm. I think the Commanders and Bills are going to get the worst of it.
Good.
I think.
Good.
It's going to be a nasty game. It's whoever has the best run game is going to win this game.
All right. So this brings us
who can defend the run game.
There you go, right there. Because this brings us around to what the whole game's going to revolve around. Because they've got some pretty good running backs. James Cook is pretty good. The guy they picked up, Damian. It's not Damian Pierce. It's the guy that they picked up from New England. He was a free agent. He's not a bad back. He was sharing time with Ramondre Stevenson last year, so he's not a bad guy. And the fact is, they have a fucking Gork at quarterback, man. They got a big ass galoot that's hard to tackle and isn't afraid to run. So, with that said, Scott, what do we do? What is that?
Today it's root beer. That's because I'm on call. I'm just drinking root beer there, Scott. But You're
Virgil's
close.
handcrafted root beer.
It's
You know,
good
I've
root
heard
beer.
about Virgil's handcrafted root, but that was a wholly different
And
movie.
you know what? I can actually get that in my local shop, Jesse.
Virgil's handcrafted root.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's very nice. Yeah, it's
That's
very
good.
nice as well.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so
I usually like to have sometimes drink a beer during the show, but today is I have to do the root beer. It's good beer.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. As you can see, once again, Keith isn't here. However, this time he's got an excuse. Would you? Oh, I can't. Can I make it bigger? I can't really make it bigger, but if you can make it out,
that's what you told your wife.
right? This is what he sent us to show us what's going on. Apparently, he's getting a wax.
He's got a wax.
He's getting a wax.
He's
get a wax at 3:00.
He's getting a wax and Bobby.
Well, you know, I'll tell you something. It's the next step in his metrosexual evolution. I know he's making himself look pretty, right? He's going to start caring about what he wears. You see how he's got his hair now, right? That thing almost looks like a wave coming over the top right there. I'm looking for something here real quick. So go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
And we've seen but Scotty has too seen Keith with his shirt off, and he's a hairy man when he doesn't
Oh, we don't need that.
when he
Talk
doesn't
amongst
shave.
yourselves, I said.
So that wax is he's still going to be recovering because that's a lot of hair to wax off that man's body. So
I wouldn't.
that is why he couldn't make it today because
he's taking a wax.
Waxing Bigfoot. Yeah.
You know, right now there's like 15 Taiwanese women going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, you know.
Of course, it's just the result. You know, you can see how clean he becomes everywhere.
Every time. That's amazing.
Everywhere.
That joke. Yeah.
All right, that of course was international sensation Keith Gray teabagging international sensation
Andrew Burrows.
Right. So anyway, let's get on to the football game. So how do we think that this rain affects either team? We'll start with you, Scotty. Go ahead and give me your summation real quick.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've looked at the matchups really overall, and I've got the stats in front of me from the two games so far. I mean, you've got Sam Powell on 501 yards, B-Rob on 146. You've got Terry on 85, and our top tackler on 19, which is Cameron Curl. And then if we go to the Bills, we're looking at Josh Allen on 510 yards, James Cook 169, Stephon Diggs on 168, and their top tackler on 19 as well. So across the board, when you look at these, they're very similar teams in the way that they're obviously using the run and the way that they're using the pass game as well. And for me, it's all about contain. And it's about, can this defense contain Josh Allen in the pocket? Can we make sure we rush him to throw when he doesn't want to throw? So we get inside his head. He is not going against a piss poor defense in the fact of, Max Crosby's coming at him and that's it from the Raiders. This time he's got to worry about four big horses coming at him, two big beasts in the middle and the two edge rushers as well. And the rotation is good as well. Yes. We can't forget that. So he's got, if we can keep him contained in the pocket, then that is what we've got to do. I mean, last week I was quite disappointed in actually looking at the run game and the run defense and stopping the run. It wasn't very good, the protection against the run. So we're going to have to settle down on that and work on that a little bit. And if we can, then that's the keys to victory there for me.
Sorry, Jesse, real quick. While you got that in your head there, Scott, when you were just rewatching the game, when you say our run defense really wasn't very good. Now, is that early on when everything wasn't good? Did it get,
no, it got better throughout it got better towards
they
the end.
Stopped running.
They stopped running.
Javonte Williams, yeah, they did. You're right. Javonte Williams and P. Ryan did okay. Do you know what I mean? They were pretty good. If you look at this, I know stats aren't everything, but if you look at the stats, we're 17th in the run. So we need to bump that up a little bit. And we'll be okay. We'll be okay. I think big games are needed from people like Davis, Cody Barton, especially if he's going to play. I'm sick of seeing him just getting pancaked and run backwards.
If he's going to play, what's up with him?
I don't know. Well, I think for talking about possibly there might be a bit of a change there with Kaliki Hudson maybe coming in. I don't know.
No kidding. Jesse, what do you think about that?
I think it should happen. I have a feeling we're going to see more. We're going to see more three linebacker sets in this game than we've seen in a long while because of
especially if it's raining.
Yeah, I do have a concern about containing the outsides. That's where we've been gashed. Really, is sealing that edge off. We have not been good at
from preseason on.
Yeah, so
from preseason on.
If now things will be slowed down because of the rain, and
Yeah,
we're going to be
that's
playing more 7 and probably 8 in the box. Cam Curl also popped up on their injury report with an illness.
Saw that.
We're going to need him to be 100% be able to help in that run game, and I really do think this is going to be whose team can stop the run the best is going to win. And to me, that kind of scares me a little bit because when teams want to run on us, they have always been able to run on us, even with our.
But if you don't have to respect the pass, I'm wondering if that changes, because really, I think the wet ball is one thing. The heavy wet ball is another thing. And that 49ers game that is similar to what we're getting ready to see. It's not this, because they always say sometimes in the weather, when there's bad weather, if it's snow or if it's rain, the advantage goes to the offense because the receivers know where they're going and they know when to plant their feet, and the other guys are slipping all over the place because they're trying to react. Yeah. So in a game like this, the ball gets not just wet, but it gets waterlogged. No matter how bad they try to keep it dry, by the third quarter, it's just a freaking. It weighs an extra pound and a half probably from all the water, or at least it feels like it does. Now, whether or not that bothers the big ass Gork from Wyoming, I don't know. He's probably used to playing in 6 feet of snow with buffalo standing around and freaking pissing and shitting on his football field. But I don't really know if that's going to hurt him in the rain. They do have a good running back with James Cook. Yeah, they do have a pretty dynamic running game, but I wonder how much of it plays off of the pass. And the thing about them is that when Josh Allen drops back, you don't know if he's going to throw or if he's just going to turn around and just run over your linebacker because he weighs 280 pounds and he's a fucking gork. I looked it up on Wikipedia. He is literally a circus gork that got away, and the Buffalo Bills signed him.
So here's one for you then, you two. I'll ask you this question. What would you do then here if you're going to look at inactives and you're going to look at who you call up potentially from the practice squad? You normally get the Saturday call-ups. Or would you go Jabril Cox for an extra linebacker there, or would you look at Alex Armour because of the Logan Thomas injury?
Alex Armour.
I'd look at Alex Armour.
Yeah, it's you got to go right now with what you have as far as your linebackers. Alex Armour's been here, all of camp.
Plus, I think you want to try to get that edge in the running game if you can. And I'll tell you what, you start putting Brian Robinson behind a fullback in a traditional I formation set and let him start to try to, because last week, I think, Scott, you mentioned it, man, he started to find that second level hole that we've been waiting for him to find. Rather than running right up the back of his lineman like he'd been doing and getting into those scrums, which have been productive, but 8 yards could turn into 15, could turn into 20. Last week he started to find those little freaking, they open up on the second level and you pop outside. And I have liked the idea of Alex Armour in this offense from the outset. I like how the 49ers use their fullback, and I think that we can do the same doggone thing. And I'll tell you what, I would even be okay if they gave Antonio Gibson the ball out of the backfield with the fullback.
Not the middle. Not the middle, John. Don't put him in the middle.
No.
All right. I spoke too soon. All right. So how does this affect Josh Allen? What do you think? Do you think that this plays to his strengths, which is the fact that he's just a big fucking gork who can sling the shit out of the ball?
I mean, I do kind of, and that's what kind of worries me the most. I think if it was sunny and clear, I wouldn't necessarily give the edge to Washington.
No,
but I would think Washington would have a better chance of winning this game. Josh Allen is a big physical quarterback that will run. Okay, Gork. And for the fact that he's got one of the strongest arms in the league, so he can overcome and zip the ball through the wind. He's done it before in bad weather games. But that can help us a little bit is the fact that he likes to take chances and he can be careless with the football.
Yes.
So you put the rain and the wind and the rain making the ball a lot heavier. A pass off target might be more susceptible for a Washington player to intercept it.
Now, with a heavier ball, it might knock Emmanuel Forbes out. I'm sorry.
They could.
He weighs 120 pounds. Actually, he'll be 170 pounds because he'll be soaking wet while he's out there. And that's the other side of this thing. It's not just the rain; it's the wind too. They're expecting 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, but I don't know how long that's going to sustain because it's already. I mean, I'm as the crow flies. I'm about 75 miles up the bay from you. All right. You're at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. For all of you that want to study geography today, Jesse's at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. I'm like 70 miles as the crow flies straight up the coast practically. And Scott, he's way over on the other side of that.
He's way. He doesn't even count. He's just way.
He's over there in the British Empire.
I actually had a look. I'm 4,782 miles away from FedEx Fields. So that's the crow
Man,
flies.
I'll tell you what, that is obsessive. That's like, wow, how far am I away from this kickoff?
Yeah, I do look at it. I'm sad. Yeah, for me, I think you're right there. I think you're right in what you're saying there. I also think that the full house can play a part. I didn't factor in the weather.
I hope that they show. I hope they don't stay home.
Because if this is, a full house, we know Bill's Mafia travel.
Full house full of what? What fans,
That's
though?
what I'm
You
saying.
got to think of that, too.
The Bills fans have a proclivity to get fucking high on cocaine and LSD, strip naked, dance in a porta potty, and then jump in the nearest construction site that they can find.
True.
By the way, I got to say, if I could put us up for an Emmy or an Oscar for that news bulletin last week, I would do this.
That was pretty good. That was good shit.
For anybody who wants to stop this does not mean the white symbol or nothing. Okay is what this means.
Hey, okay, that was good. That's
okay.
Yeah, I was proud of myself for that one.
I don't care about all that other shit. All right, so
Yeah,
anyways,
I think having a full house is going to make a massive difference, I think. So if you are going on Sunday, I'm very jealous. I would still sit there even if it was in the rain.
You're British.
Scream
You're
your head
used to
off.
it, right?
Yeah, of course. It's just a Tuesday for us. Scream your head off, and don't fight. Have a beer.
Well,
Don't
look,
fight
if you're
each
gonna
other.
fight, do it early and get the fuck out of the stadium so that the people that want to show up for the game can have a good time.
That's true.
Correct.
It's sad to see all these things posted on
honestly.
social media and
It's always
thoughts with the family that lost their
100%.
father for the New England Patriots game where they're not 100% sure if his death was caused by the punch to the face, but he died after he got knocked out. So I mean,
what I always see in these fights? People that are way the fuck too old to be in these fucking fights. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. Yeah, thoughts to everybody.
I mean, we saw one. There was one at our game where we were.
Literally
they were good. It was a good fight. It happened before the kickoff. They yelled at each other. They both got thrown out, and they got a fight out in the concourse. And we didn't miss a goddamn thing. It was perfect. That's how you get in the fight at the stadium. You do it early. You get the fuck out so everybody can enjoy themselves. And if you're one of these people that's going to get in the fight in the stadium, here's what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to say it right now. Hold your fucking liquor, Junior. Hold your liquor like you can hold liquor. And if you can't hold your liquor, don't drink it, you fucking kid. All right? Don't act like a goddamn child. No, that's what I always see in these videos. People are way too old to be in a fight, getting in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just scream and shout and roar them on, and I hope we win. I hope we get the win. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a very difficult game. But for me, this is the acid test. This now, are we where we think we're going to be? Are we just pretend, or are we, are we up there as being the team that goes on? I mean, I had a question yesterday on our show saying, "Do you think it's just about the performance?" It's not about the performance. It's all about results. This is a results.
Yeah, this is a results-driven league, and you're right. It is all about. But I'm going to put a little caveat by this. If we lose this game. Because of the weather, because this is going to be a different type of game. You ain't going to be able to open up your playbook for this one. I really don't think so.
Maybe.
So
I tell you what, I think the weather plays in our favor because I think defensively we're better.
I don't.
I think we are. I think defensively we're better. I think we're good enough to be able to run the ball. And I kind of like the fact that we're going to have a full house yelling down at Josh Allen. Hey, you big fucking gork. By the way, Scott kept laughing when I called him a circus gork. But the fact of the matter is, if you catch Josh Allen out in the parking lot after the game for $1.50, he'll bite the head off a live chicken. I've seen him do it.
I think our defensive line is better, but everything else they got it. They got a better defense. They have
two great safeties. They
have the best safety tandem in the league. And their linebackers are freaking. We have nothing close to Matt Milano. Nothing close to Matt Milano.
No, it's not a matter of whether we can play linebacker like Matt Milano, because I can tell you this: Cody Barton can't even spell Milano, and in fact, he'll go Milano.
Micah Hyde, Paul. Who else is it? The one is it?
Jordan Poyer. He's
Great
I
player.
mean, they're getting a little old, and they may have lost a step, but they've been playing together in the same system for a very, very long time, and they're good.
Well, we'll ignore the typo. Keith, preparing for the storm, we'll just have water beat up and roll off him on Sunday. So Keith is getting the wax and the buff job right now, according to our
That's
buddy.
it, yeah.
Wait, nice to see you, Scott.
I love Scott G. What a guy.
Hey, man, our buddy up in North Dakota, who's
yes.
with us going, hey, you're going to get bad weather. Dude, it's September the 22nd up there. He's probably already had a foot of snow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the weather was this bad though, Jesse. But you're right; it's going to play a massive factor in this game. And I think if it's just, I don't know,
who can run the ball.
I want to believe. I believe we can do this. I believe we can win this. This is the first time I've looked at this roster and thought, you know what? I can believe that they will do something here. But it is an acid test. I think we all had it down on our docket. If we look back at our predictions, we all had it down to say it's a loss. And to be honest with you, my head still says this is a loss. But obviously, we're 2-0, and we're 2-0. We're at home. It's a sellout. We know the weather's going to be shit now, which is great for some. And we've got a vaunted defense, you know. And Sam Howell is Sam Howell, you know. I think he's just a gamer. I think he's just a guy who goes out there and says, "I'll lead by example. I'll show you what I'm about, and nothing flashy, but I'm gonna do my job properly." And the watching the maturation of him and the evolution of him as a quarterback is fun. Well, it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. And you know, like I said to you last week, poise, boys. He's got the poise. When he makes a mistake, it doesn't bother him. But after the game, he remembers that mistake and he says, "This is something I have to work on." I love that about the guy.
And he has to work on getting the fucking ball out of his hands faster.
Internal clock, as you said, Jesse. That internal clock.
Yeah,
he does. But that's a fixable problem. That's a coachable problem. And you know, considering the kids played 3 NFL games at full speed.
But this problem goes all the way back to his North Carolina days.
Okay,
and that's what
the Cowboys game. I don't think he really had a problem with that.
He didn't have a whole lot of nobody pressuring him either. No. And he didn't have a whole lot of passes.
I think if we play the Cowboys tomorrow, they'd pressure us a lot more. But you know, and let's just take a moment and shed a tear for the Cowboys losing their star cornerback.
Look, I hate to see players.
No, I don't want to see people
like that. Yeah, you know, you don't want to wish them any.
I mean, if they get knocked out of the game, good. But that sucks. Travion Diggs, even though I think he's a little bit overrated, he's just in the right place at the right time.
Hey, you know what? They've got a good.
Just throw bad balls to Travion Diggs, but anyways,
you got to catch him, though, right?
He's a good corner. You know, he's a pretty daggone good corner. That just sucks. It sucks. I mean, but
you know what?
It couldn't happen to a better team now.
Here's my hot take.
Go on, John. You do.
Here's a quick hot take on that kind of shit, because I've been seeing this going around on X for the last day or so. Oh, that sucks. I'd like to beat them when they've gotten full strength. You know what? Fuck that. Fuck him and fuck them. It's football. All right.
As many people not playing as possible.
It's fucking football. It doesn't matter that. I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but if it happens, it's better that it happens to them, and I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't care. You know what? When you're playing, if we're playing on Sunday, and in the first quarter, Chase Allen comes around again and swats the ball out, and Daron Payne picks it up and crushes James freaking Cook with his right foot and runs it in for a touchdown. But on the play, Josh Allen hurts his thumb. What are you going to do? Are you going to go, ooh, Josh Allen might be out of the game? Or are you going to go, oh, this is terrible. I really hate the fact that this happened. Don't lie. Okay. You know what? I don't wish injury on anybody, but if it happens and it improves our team and it helps our chances, hey.
See, Peter's got the right mentality.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Why am I going to feel bad for Dick? He's going to get the best medical care. He'll be back in a year. He makes millions of dollars. I ain't going to feel bad.
To be honest, though, Scouse isn't wrong there. He's not wrong. I mean, the only thing that's disappointing about this injury is the fact that you can't.
He's an all-pro cornerback. He was all-pro.
He's not. He's terrible.
Come on.
He's a shit corner, Jesse.
He's an all-pro. He made all-pro last year.
The only reason he is all-pro is because of the intersections that he gets.
Well,
he gets
the
a-
right place at the right time. But
Well-
he is actually in coverage. He is a poor corner. And the
I
only
agree.
disappointment of his injury
He was
is that I
was
can't look on
awful. He was awful the year before last. He got a lot better last year, which is why he made All Pro.
Yeah, but you're
He
right.
made
But I
all
mean,
pro for
the
the
only thing I
interception, but I
can't.
get what Scott is saying, because other than the balls that fell in his hands like that, but that's really a nitpicky argument. You can't argue.
Yeah,
with
it
the
is.
results. That's the bottom line of it. However, it does look like the 1 point safety show is completely in concurrence with this
100%.
particular statement.
Yeah, I mean, the only disappointment for me with that whole injury is that I can't look in Terry's back pocket and find Travion Diggs. But, it is what it is.
If Micah Parsons went out and twisted his ankle the week before our game, oh, terrible! That's awful.
Peter's
No,
nailed
it's
it
not-
in the comments there.
it's not-
He just said there,
Okay.
he just gets picks, and it means that idiots see that and they think that he's good. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Just because you get interceptions doesn't mean that you're an amazing lockdown corner. He's not Sauce Gardner.
Y'all do know we're not talking about Pro Bowl. We don't vote for
All Pro.
All Pro. We're talking about
All
All
Pro.
Pro.
There's only one.
Pros
But
are
again,
totally different.
Right. It's a whole
Who
different.
votes for All Pro though? The players, or is it the coaches? I mean,
No, it's AP.
AP,
it's
AP,
AP, it's Associated Press,
and
right.
also it's a
It's a
system.
consensus.
Yeah, consistent system. It's not favoritism.
So I'll look at it and say, was Sheriff really a Pro Bowl?
It's right guard. I think at
Yeah.
right guard they just go.
They kind of flip a coin.
Right.
I'm with you.
that
It's not a premier position, is it? Like corner, I'm with you. I
No,
understand
as
that.
John Madden once said, you can hide your worst player there at the right guard. That guy can be terrible. He stinks
Exactly.
up the field.
Scouts nailed it again. Burned for 1,100 yards in a season, but he's All Pro. Exactly.
That was his
There
his
you go.
rookie year. Yeah, he was burned
No,
a
that was
lot.
last year.
I don't know.
All right, well,
Might have
let's
been the
see
year
here.
before, actually. But anyway.
Yeah.
So here's what we've managed to
We've
do.
talked too long about a Cowboys fucking cornerback. Let's get on with the game,
Listen,
man.
No, I'll tell you what. I like that people
Fuck
are
them
interacting with
Cowboys.
us in the chat there, because this is how this show is. I was explaining this to a new fellow that came and watched us last week. Really enjoyed himself.
Yeah.
We're just fans, man. Don't expect. Okay, we're gonna get to our next segment. We don't fucking have segments. And even if we did plan out a segment, by the time we start the show, we just start going, and that's where we go.
That's a good
Shout out to
segue
Sean.
into our next segment and keys to keys to the
He's
win.
the victory. Yeah.
Keys to the
Shout out to Sean and shout out to Wally Sparks as well for watching.
That's
as well.
right, yeah.
Perfect segue there, Johnny.
Appreciate you. Bro.
See how that works? All right. So yeah, okay. We are going to do some X factors, and I'll tell you what, we do
Oh,
have
yeah.
something for that. So
We're
here.
going to do keys to the win first.
I thought we don't have keys. Do we do keys? But we can do keys to the win. That would be.
Did we do
fine.
that last year?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
What is it? What is it going to
X
take?
factors is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't make it really any real difference.
Well,
okay,
all
so-
right, how about this? One for each of us do. What does the team have to do on offense to win? And then one, what does the team have to do on defense? Not players, X factors players. These are
Okay.
keys.
Okay.
John, you go first. What does
All
the
right.
offense have to do for us to win this game?
Do not be distracted by Keith Gray's newly waxed body. He's going to be down in the end zone wearing his
He's
freaking
gonna
bib
be-
overalls with no shirt on.
He's going to be shined up and ready to rock and roll.
That's right. And like whoever it was back there in the chat said, the water's going to be. Oh, I can't remember. The water's going to be beating right off. So don't get distracted by Keith Gray. Offensively, look, man, I want to see our tackles get to work. And I want to see if it's going to be that kind of a monsoon, and we know that the running game is going to play a factor. We've all said, I see a lot of fans, they all say all week long about how we want to get the running game going early. Well, that's not the modern NFL anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Now you pass to set up the run. But this Sunday could be a completely different story. We need to go back to Smash Mouth, go back to the muddy football. If I am Ron Rivera, I'm calling Joe Gibbs on the phone and say, why don't you grab a bag of oranges and meet me in the locker room and give us a pregame pep talk about how to go out there and win a game in these kind of conditions. So I want to see the offensive line, our tackles in particular, take control of this game, which means I want to see them fire off the ball and punch the Buffalo Bills right in the fucking nose. All right, hit them hard, and Brian Robinson find those holes early so that we can at least control the clock on a game where the weather could play a big factor.
Scott?
So you just absolutely nailed it there.
Nailed it.
Was control the clock. Time of possession is key. really, really key. So that leads into that run game, as you just spoke about there. You need to be getting on third and short. You need to be down to there. Short passes only, medium passes if you think you've got an opening. Absolutely, that's it. It's time of possession. Wear it out. Go back to them games that we had against the Steelers away at Philly when they were on unbeaten runs. Use that type of game plan where you are literally holding the ball for 13 minutes a half.
75% of the game last year against Philly.
Exactly. That is where we need to be.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's simple. No turnovers.
Good shot.
Protect the football, and control the line of scrimmage. That's it. That's how you win this game. And this type of weather that's coming is take care of the fucking football. Do not give it to Antonio Gibson between the tackles.
Ever, even on a bright sunny day in Arizona.
The limited passing, make smart decisions with the ball. Sam's got to make smart decisions with the football. And that's how this offense is going to need to win. I think Bieniemy will scheme it up good between screens and run plays and short quick passing to be able to move the ball and hold on to the ball, but just take care of the fucking ball. That's it. All right, on defense, Scott, who you got? What is your key to victory?
Key to victory here is to get to Josh Allen. Pressures, sacks, get in his head. Make him make mistakes. If you look at the Josh Allen we had in game one, he always has a brain fart, probably 3 games a season. He has a terrible game where he will. That wasn't me, by the way.
Last week.
Last week he corrected it and he looked good against the Jets, who apparently have an amazing defense. He looked pretty shocking. We have a very, very, very good defensive front, so it's time to make sure that front pressures him and he does something stupid and turns the ball over. It goes back to you, Jesse. Turnovers is going to win this game. That is what's going.
Well, we've kind of gotten lucky on the turnover, at least against the Cardinals. 3 turnovers and we win the game. That you can't survive with that for long, especially with the game.
We had 2 turnovers last week too,
right? But we took 2 away. Right, we had an interception,
and the fumble.
Right,
so you got to clean that fumble was the call, the turn of the game right there. The Jamin Davis,
that wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. On defense, I think you said his name right there, Jamin Davis. Look, man, the defense
he's got to spy Josh Allen.
The defensive line is going to do what they're going to do. All right. And I think that Josh Allen he played against Quinnen Williams. He played against who did they play last week that they just whooped up on?
Max Crosby was last week.
Max Crosby.
Raiders.
So this is different, man. You, like Scotty said earlier, you got all 4 of these guys that are going to be coming after you from a lot of different ways, and they're all capable of not only kicking your ass, but kicking the shit out of your offensive lineman on the way to you. So I rattle the fuck out of him, rattle the shit out of him. But Jamin Davis, he's so fast. He is so fast. When you read that Josh Allen is trying to get out of that pocket, and if they're spying on him, dude, I've seen how he likes to treat linebackers and how he likes to treat safeties when he's out in space. He doesn't have any respect for them whatsoever. He tried to jump over that guy at the 3-yard line, basically put his balls on the guy's forehead. Let me tell you something, Jamin, if he puts his balls on your forehead like that and tries to jump over you, you slam that big fucking galoot into the ground as hard as you can. I want to fucking feel it here in my house, 55 miles away from that stadium. I want to go fucking, hey, what the hell was that? I want Jamin Davis to lance in there and knock the shit out of him when he gets an opportunity. That's my key to the game.
Don't over pursue. Don't over pursue.
Make Josh Allen realize that there are people out there in the NFL that are not impressed.
Mine's contain the edges. You got to contain.
Bingo.
Do not break it. Contain. Don't try to get cute, because that's where Josh Allen will burn you. He did it 2 years ago. That was our issue 2 years ago. We got to stay focused and stay on our assignments, and don't let him get outside, because if we get outside, it's going to be a long fucking game. It's going to be a long game.
Can I just come back to one more?
Yeah, please.
I got one more key to victory. Fucking start fast. Don't give them a quarter or a little bit more where you're 2-3 touchdowns down, because you are not coming back against Josh Allen. You cannot give, like we gave Russell Wilson 3 touchdowns and 300 yards. Impossible. You cannot be getting burnt in the backfield by people like Darnell, by Mims. You know what I mean? It just, when, oh, look, there's no communication again. They haven't come off the bus. Start fast and go from there. We have to start fast. We have
hit him early and often. Look, our linebackers, Cody Barton, dude, I don't care. I'd like to see Kaliki Hudson at this point. But whoever you are that's out there, man, you better be quick. You better be real quick because now I think Dawson Knox is out of the game. Their tight end.
Yeah, he is.
He's out of the game.
Nope, he is not. He is with a full go today. Everybody is a full go.
Right, because I had heard
they are
back.
He's been out of practice until today. He was at practice. He was
even if he's
today,
not,
and he's a go. He's a go.
Even if not, let's say he pulls his back in the first quarter. They've got this rookie Kincaid, right? That's supposed to be pretty good. So yeah, you can't let up. You got to take Diggs out of the game. If you can take Diggs out of the game, that's one thing, which I think they can do. They took Judy out of the game last week because, like I told you, I believe last week on this show, quote me, fuck Jerry Judy. I don't see anything about that dude that anybody should be afraid of. And Stephon Diggs, yeah, he's a bad dude.
No. He's an elite receiver, John.
He is.
I mean, I gave you this. I gave you the stats earlier. He's already on 2 games through. What's he on there? 168 yards. Not too bad.
I'm not going to disrespect Stephon.
How many times in 3 years have you heard Allen to Diggs?
Oh God, right. Not only that, but even before that, Kirk Cousins to Diggs. Diggs has just been a star since he got in the league. So yeah. But I'm thinking if you concentrate on taking him out of the game, you got to be careful because Gabe Davis on the other side, he is not a great receiver, not a very, he's adequate receiver. But what he has is a knack of getting that big touchdown, deep touchdown when they need it. So you can't just lay off. All right, you got to be careful about this. I'm hoping, dude, get that defensive line in there and start putting some bruises on that big fucking giraffe that's back there. That is what I want to see. I want to see Daron Payne's freaking face mask bruise right on his chest, right there. I want to see that face mask printed on his chest.
Are we going X Factors then?
X Factors. All right, so X Factors. We don't have any audio for X Factors, so why don't I just do this? X Factors. All right, Jesse, who's your first X Factor on offense?
Brian Robinson Jr. You have to run, Forrest, run. I think this is going to be a big game for him. Hold on to the ball, which he isn't known to put the ball on the turf. But yeah, he's got to have a big game. If we want to win this game, Brian Robinson Jr. is going to have to take control and control the clock and do what he does. I mean, he's a fighter. He gets, even if there's nothing there, man, that
they screw it out,
goes and goes and goes. So Brian Robinson needs to have a big game for us to win.
There you go. All right, Brian Robinson, big game. Scotty, what about you? Your first X Factor thing? I got to make a fucking X Factor sound effect. Where's your echo? We really do.
I haven't got it anymore. I used to have it, but it's forgotten now.
Boy, our X Factors. X Factors.
X Factor. Yeah, for me, it doesn't have the same credence anymore.
All right, so everybody that's out there that's paying attention right now, just imagine a really cool sound effect. X Factor. All right, so Scotty, who's your first X Factor of the day?
I haven't got a particular one on offense, but I'm going to go the whole tight end group. We've got to see chipping. We've got to see them blocking. We've got to see better blocking, and we've got to make sure that we control the edges, to improve that run game for Brian Robinson. Make sure you've got hands as well on short passes. It
wouldn't surprise me if we threw less than 12 times this game.
Wow.
Depending on the weather. I mean, I don't know that Bieniemy plays scared, and it really depends a lot on the weather. And when I say weather, I think that more means wind. If they're talking about 40 to 50 mile an hour winds, that's what really plays hell with the ball. So I'm going to build off of both of y'all's. My X Factor. It's an amalgam of both of yours built into the offensive line. Brian Robinson needs to get going, and he needs to be able to control the game. And the offensive line needs to give him that good bully push so that he can find that second level hole and get outside and make those 10 to 15, 20-yard gains that really start to put a dagger in the other team. Make them chase him down, make them tackle him way down the field, and then get up again and do it again and do it again. So that's one, but I want to see the Sam Cosmi's been kicking ass. I love it. I fucking love it. Sadiq Charles kicking ass. I absolutely effing love it. What's the center's name from the Giants?
Gates. Nick Giants. Nick Gates.
Gates is probably looking at last night's game going, thank God I got the fuck out of there. All right.
Yeah.
So, Gates is probably happier than hell. So he's going to be whooping ass. I want to see good play out of the tackles. Make sure that our ends stay clean, like Scott said. But I want to see a big game out of those tight ends in the short passing game. We're going to be down. Logan Thomas he's not going to play. I'd be surprised if he plays for the rest of the month, to be quite honest.
They already rolled him out.
So we need a game out of Cole Turner, and we need a game out of – is Hodges going to be brought up? Is he going to play?
Well, that's what I was saying. Is it Alex Armour that you bring up, or is it Hodges maybe? I don't know. Do you bring an extra tight end?
I'd like to see Armour up before Hodges, to be honest.
Do we have any other tight end? Who else is there? Bates. So, I'd go with Bates, and I'd go with – sorry, I keep forgetting Bates. Sorry,
Bates and Turner, isn't it? The two.
Bates and Turner, I think, can hold that down. I would love to see Armah because I'll tell you what, you want to show me how Brian Robinson can find that second level hole? Put freaking Alex Armah through that son of a bitch and take that freaking safety out that's crashing down. Crush that linebacker.
Both of y'all get negative 2 points for giving another key to the game in our X Factor segment. So, an X Factor is a 1.
Oh, an X Factor's a 1.
So never mind. Anyways, defense.
Anybody understand that? What the fuck?
You gave a key, not an X Factor. X
I did.
Factor is like a
all
a,
right. Well, then negative 2 points to me. I'm going to lose.
All right, let's go to defense. Who needs to have a big game
on defense?
Well, John, you go. Right. You go first, mate.
Who's the X Factor?
Chase Young, the whole defensive line, and I'm going to take all 4 of them away from you guys because they act as such a unit. Because
we're just going to strike 2 more points from your.
That's 2 more points off because that's a key.
All right, one player. My X Factor is my man, Deron Payne.
Bring the pain.
Deron Payne getting up.
House of Pain. Bring the pain.
I'm telling you,
Major Pain.
Defensive Player of the Year 2023. That's right. Saying,
Deron Payne is going to cause me to break my moratorium on jersey sale. Look, the last jersey I bought was Patrick fucking Ramsey. All right, so that was what 2002.
That was a waste of money.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point. Every jersey since then has been a waste of money. I was like, fuck this.
I have a bad habit doing that
to watch people leave. So I had a Champ Bailey jersey, and nope, he left. So I'm gonna break my moratorium on Deron Payne. I'm going to buy me a Payne jersey. I got to get a Payne jersey because Deron Payne, dude, get in the face of that big fucking galoot. And if that son of a bitch thinks that he can run up through that gap right there, that he can do that little shooky shit if they think they can shuffle Montez Sweat around the end and that he can run up through that little gap, you punish him. You take his big fucking gigantic giraffe looking ass and stuff him in a fucking can. Bang! Smash him. Crush him, then get up and do your dance, baby. Deron Payne, X Factor.
Scotty, who's your X Factor?
It's got to be Jamin Davis. He had an amazing game last week. Probably the best game he's had in a Washington Commanders or Washington football team jersey. In a jersey for us, he's had the best game he had last week. He's got to spy Josh Allen or be quick to get across the field to contain them edges. And watch the run as it comes through. Because if the weather is, as you say, it's going to be, Jesse, I can see a lot of quarterback designed runs as well. So you've got to be careful.
And that can be said the same for Sam Howell, too. So,
absolutely. Yeah. I have no idea what he means there, Scouse.
And the Scouse is, what's the favorite beer over in Liverpool?
No, it's not. Not at all. I don't know. It'll be some sort of lager, but probably. Christ, I don't want to say Carlsberg. Yeah, probably Carlsberg.
Carlsberg. Whew. Black Label, Carling. Oh no, that's Carling.
No, that's Carling. That's
Carlsberg. Yeah, well, that's
Carlsberg's Danish. It's not a bad lager. I'll be honest with you.
So
Carlsberg podcasts, they'd look at this one.
Scotty, took probably the most important X factor, but I'll give you another one in Cam Curl.
Go on.
Playing in run support. And maybe they do something with Tilliard said Darlington is like piss.
Carlsberg's trash. I know you're probably more of a Peroni man, Scouse. I don't know, but yeah, who knows?
By the way, Tilliard, my friend John Tilliard, how you doing, buddy?
He's up in Harrogate. To the chat, old Tilliard.
He's another one of our English friends. He's up in Harrogate. So,
yeah, Cam Curl, man. He's been pretty well in run support, and I think he's like I said. I think this is going to be a running game. It's going to be a quick game. Lots of time, lots of running clock, and I think Cam Curl needs to play in the box, play that Buffalo nickel, and just be up there for that run support.
I'll tell you
Top tackler on the team as well, Jesse. Top tackler on the team with 19 so far this year.
He's got excellent form too. A really good fundamental tackling skills. The thing about Diggs,
no Scouse, you don't.
Hey, Scout, how are you?
Hello, Scouse.
He gets a hello. Anyway, yes, Scout's our friend in Liverpool. And
fuck off, you wanker.
By the way, John Tilliard, who is here right now, is a fan of the Bucks, and I'll tell you what, the Bucks are 2-0. So who's the bigger surprise, us or the Bucks?
I gotta say the Bucks probably, just because our schedule is weaker.
What we expected to be quality teams.
Yeah, I mean, our schedule is weaker, so it's got to be the Bucks. I mean, and no offense to Tilliard, I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, they got a good defense, but Baker Mayfield is not really.
You know what? I never know whether I should believe in Baker Mayfield or not. Dude can play. He's a gamer. I'll give him that. But you're right. Whether it's sustainable.
And people need to stop comparing Sam Howell to Baker Mayfield. They are two different quarterbacks. Yeah, they may look alike. They may comb their hair the same way. But Sam Howell actually can run the ball. Baker cannot. Sam has a much stronger arm and is a hell of a lot more accurate than Baker Mayfield. Yeah, the comparison is not even nowhere close. They just look alike. That's it.
Do they though? I don't even know if they do. However, I do know this: Sam Howell has never eaten a steak or a burger. He's never eaten beef in his life.
Yeah, I don't trust a man that don't eat red meat.
Well, you could go a long way for a whole lot of reasons. But
you don't trust a man who wears
We'll just take it back to the fact that Keith is getting waxed today.
That's true. Keith is getting waxed.
Keith is getting waxed. If I didn't give a shit about copyright laws, I would have gotten all kinds of video from the 40-year-old version and that's Keith today. Because, dude, honestly, you want to know what it's like waxing Keith? If you really want to think about it, because I have an imaginative brain, and what I would think is it's like going to find like a 1970s shag carpet with the freaking, and then just like throwing glue down on it and ripping it out. That's what I have to think about it. And like I told you, there's
Kelly Clarkson.
All right, I don't even know. Anyway, why don't we take it someplace else? I have no idea where to go, so we'll just show you this.
That's me at 2 a.m. outside my house, getting ready to go.
This is where I live, officer. I swear I lost my key.
I've got a stop sign at the end of the road. Yeah. So
all right, so let's get some game predictions.
Stalker Scotty in action right there.
No one's tired, man. Driving to Scouse's house. Yeah. Hello, Scouse.
Well, you go to Scouse's house, everybody comes out looking like that.
Hey, listen, Scouse is living in a posh area. He is.
Posh.
Yeah, he is.
So what does
he's
he do?
in a bougie area.
He lives off their scratch.
No. He lives in Cheshire, mate, which is where all the millionaires go to retire. It's very nice. It's like the equivalent in the southern region is the Cotswolds. So he's doing well. He's doing well. I claim I live in the Lake District, but I don't. I actually live in a shipyard town that's a shit tip. But it is what it is.
It's a shit tip. There's a nice word.
A shit tip. Yeah. I think it ranked on. If you look at the worst, there's a UK website. If anyone ever wants to Google it, it's called Shit Towns. If you put it into Google, you'll find it. I think we were in the top 10 in the UK of shit towns. So yeah, we're doing well. Yeah.
Everybody's
No, but you're right, Tiard. Nowhere more posh than Harrogate. I mean, Betty's Tea Rooms is the way to go, mate. Yeah, I like it. And you have a spa there. It's a spa town, which is very nice. So he's right there. My son was born not far from there in North Yorkshire, in Northallerton. So yes, there we go.
And there you go, everybody. Coming up,
country rumings with ramblings with Scott on the pod. Yeah. Next on the One Show, we'll take you across to Country File.
Scott's got to take the dog for a walk. And we're back from the English portion of the show. So, all right, let's get some score predictions. Jesse, what do you think is going to happen this weekend? I know this is the hard part.
Me? Yeah, I'll go.
Go to Scott first. Okay. We'll go to Scott first.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Head says we can't win this. It's going to be a Bills victory. I got it on the docket earlier in the season as a Bills victory. I think we have a good performance. Still think it's a Bills victory. Hart says we're going to do it. Head says no. 17-13 Bills.
Yeah, I tend to agree that we're probably not going to be able to beat this team. The weather, I think equalizes it somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
But 17-13 sounds about right if the weather stays about right. I think I'm going to echo you with that. I'll go with 17-14. We'll give ourselves 2 touchdowns because I would like them for my fantasy purposes. Brian Robinson, 2 touchdowns and 100 yards out of you would be good. But, yeah, the fact is the last time we played them, they beat the living crap out of us, if I recall.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that, John. I honestly don't think it's going to be anything like that.
Here's the thing about score predictions and what's going to happen. Everybody's just chill. This is a genuine Super Bowl contender that we're getting ready to play right here. All right? They really are. All right. And Josh Allen 2 years ago is how we're talking right now about our team. Now, I'm not comparing our quarterback to Josh Allen for all you morons out there that want to jump up and say, no, it's a matter of the maturation of the team. They are ready for a Super Bowl, wouldn't you think? I mean, they're at their window is open.
Yeah.
Ours, if we're going to have one, is just starting to open. So I would like to see
the door is cricked.
The door could be creaked, right? That's right. It's cricked open. Now, if we have a good show and it is 17-13, even if the weather does play a big part of the reason why, I don't care the reason why. If we get blown out 35-3, I'm not going to like that so much, but I'm not going to freak out over it either. This is a genuine contender. So that's my score prediction would be Bills 20, Commanders 16. 37-20. Commanders. We're going to repeat Super Bowl 26, baby. Here we go.
40-3.
Yeah.
27-26. Repeat the game of the
if the weather was good, I would think this would be a high scoring game. Like 30-28 or something like that. Right. I just think it's going to be low scoring. I would definitely take the under in this game. But
we'll do have that tomorrow at 4:00.
I do have Washington covering. I just think it's going to be like a 17-15 type game.
What is the spread of this game?
6.5.
All right, now Scott, can you please did you understand that? What that means?
Yeah, it means we are the Bills get a 6.5 point head start on us. So if we get within 7, or if we cover. Yeah, that's right. Isn't it?
All right, yeah, that's very good. We're just making sure that you're up on things because you always bitch on our Saturday afternoon show, which, by the way,
it's just fucking honestly, I just don't get it. It's like, why haven't you got fractional prices? Like, why haven't you got 2-1? Or what does plus 101 mean?
Well, I mean, if you fuckers weren't all goddamn tied up in the middle,
you bet $100 and you win $1.
Right. For people that deal in centimeters, you should understand that.
I mean, y'all, pump your gas in liters. I mean, who does that?
We do actually, liters.
Who does that?
Who fucking does that? And you drive on the wrong goddamn side of the road.
Hold on. At least we still speak the correct language. Let's be honest here. It's not a luminous. What's a faucet?
I mean,
Since Scott blew a chance for us to have a. This is going off the rails. Since Scott wrecked our chances for a good promo, for me, just about to say tomorrow at 4:00, Jesse, Scott, and I will be picking all the NFL games, and we'll find out in the big embossed book how we did last week, and I think we did all right. So, but
we did terrible.
We did terrible.
You need to find out. That's all I'm saying.
Tune in tomorrow
Fuck
to
the Chargers. That's all I gotta say. Is fuck the
don't
Chargers.
It just looks like scribbles in this book.
Dude, the Chargers are the absolute throughout my life. Okay, and I go back. All right, obviously, I go back. The Chargers are perennial. The team with the most talent that can't do fucking shit ever. They fucking lose. You wouldn't believe the ways that they lose. Anyway,
remember that, John, last year when we bet on the Chargers? It was an absolute It's like,
yeah, you might as well.
I got this money from a betting company. We will not name them on here, but I got this money and I won from a previous bet, and I'm going to lump it all on the Chargers, and they lost.
and they went, "Oh, thank you very much." You know, Scott, it makes you understand why you should take some acid, do some lines of coke, and then jump into fucking a goddamn
construction site,
running through a construction site in Buffalo. Right.
I wonder what the local police chief's saying about that now. Did we ever find out anything about that?
I think that's pretty much a dead story right now. Pretty much right now, he's trying to find a new job at some ice cream parlor that'll hire him without looking into who he is. Anyway, we're now at 1 hour. So
Sam Howell is the 8th rated quarterback in the NFL as of right now.
Wow.
In front of Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. So,
dude, did you see Brock Purdy walking into the stadium last night? Did you watch any of
He needs to change his last name because Purdy's is ugly last name.
Purdy's all right. I don't mind that so much.
Brock.
When he's walking into the stadium.
And broccoli.
Honest to God, I expect him to say, "I got your DoorDash for you." He does not look like an NFL quarterback walking into the stadium. He looks like a guy that's bringing you your fucking tacos.
See that kicker from the Saints who I can't remember who he is. He's kicking for the Saints anyway. The security wouldn't let him down on the field because they mistaken him for a fan. They actually thought he was a fan because he's so small. They wouldn't let him down, and they had to get someone from like the actual team to come down and say, "No, he's actually our kicker." Okay,
your practice.
Brilliant.
All right. Well, we will talk about the NFL and the upcoming games coming up tomorrow at 4:00. Thank you. Very way to go. And I'll tell you what, man. Tomorrow, Sunday's game is going to be fun. That weather is going to be an equalizer for us. You know, if we snatched a win, I wouldn't be shocked. We have the capability. If we snatched it,
it would
be a shock. I mean, it would be a surprise, but I wouldn't be terribly shocked. We have
the NFL world. This will be a major story.
It will be more of a major story for us or for them?
For us.
For them.
Oh, for the team.
Well, how about that?
See, I think for them, as in the national media will go mental on this.
Yeah. I thought you meant the Bills as far as like
the
Bills lost again. No.
Well, they would have lost to us.
This will put them in position to where this is a real playoff threat.
Contender.
Right now, people are just it's the Broncos and the Chargers, and they had to come behind from both of them. Blah 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 blah. So if they wind up pulling off a win, and I said this the other day, if we win one of the next 2 games, we're going to have ourselves a season. Truly.
Even if we don't, these are 2 Super Bowl contenders that we got coming up.
But if we want to be able to competitive and compete and be real, we got to pull one of these off.
I don't see that.
Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in that mediocre mold.
Well, sometimes you take a step at a time. If we lose both of these games, the season's not over by any stretch.
It's not over. I'm just saying, like if we win one of these, we're definitely having a season. It's going to be okay. Now there's a good chance we're going to win double digit.
This
wins.
means, God damn it, I don't want to fucking tell John he's a fucking idiot. That's what that means. God damn it, I don't want to tell John to shut the fuck up. Well, I'll tell you what. I hope we win on Sunday. Tomorrow at 4:00, we will be back, the 3 of us, to pick the NFL and tell you what we think is going to happen on Sunday on all the other games, including the one that we just talked about for the last hour. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I've enjoyed myself. For everybody else on the show, we're going to say see you tomorrow.
For all those in the chat. And if you like, I guess we'll start promoting our YouTube. Go to YouTube and hit that subscribe, like, and fucking A.
Yeah, man.
Hit the bell.
Good review and that kind of shit. And I'll tell you what, if you have a podcast, which everybody does, send me your link and I'll give you a good review and you trade me for a good review.
And hit that bell because we go on like 500 times a week. So now.
That's right. You go on enough times a week, my wife is looking at me.
Yeah.
Your wife's looking at you. We're all on like 4 shows. It's like you never off a podcast.
And none of them were about the Jaguars.
Sorry, sorry, babe. I can't make love to you right now. I got a podcast.
That's the worst thing.
It's 11 o'clock at night, Scott. Nah, never mind.
All right, so for everybody,
no Netflix and chilling for Scotty. No. Thanks, Colin. All right.
We are punchy as shit. Thank you, Colin. Hey, man, nice to see you, buddy. All right, y'all. We're out.